Want to achieve network marketing success? Then you're in the right company. Hello, and welcome to Leave Nothing to Chance, hosted by networking marketing giant, John Solleder. Learn everything you need to know about the network marketing space from somebody who's actually done it. Join us every week for front row seats as we feature some of the finest and most successful personalities in network marketing. Leave nothing to chance. Join us now.
Okay, well, welcome to the April 2nd Leaving Nothing to Chance podcast, a new friend of the show, and that is Eno Eka. And she is the founder of a business analysis school called Eno Consulting up in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And we'll just start with sharing a little bit about who she is and what she does. And you're going to learn a lot today, my friend. So let me give the mission statement of her consulting company. And the mission statement is to build a world-class business and technology consulting company with a vision to help businesses and professionals increase their revenue with their business analysis and agile project management. So welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm good, John. How are you doing?
I am great. And you have a topic that every entrepreneur needs to hear. And our listeners range from part-time business people in the network marketing space. I've got insurance people that listen to us, realtors that listen to us, automobile salesmen, a variety of people, some that are older, retired, and they're working on their secondary income during retirement years, some that are as young as 19 that are just getting started. So we're going to talk today about the top 5 mistakes that entrepreneurs make when starting a business and how to avoid them. So you're the expert. I'll ask the questions and I'll let you give the answers. How's that sound?
That sounds great. That sounds great.
So let's start at the top. Why initial market research is critical?
Yes. So, John, initial market research is critical for entrepreneurs because you really want to get insights into your customers, who you're going to serve, right? Their demographics, their psychographics. Why do they want your product? Their behaviors. How do they react to your pricing, right? What kind of promotional campaigns would work for them? What are their pain points? Why do they need your service or your product? So it's really, really important that you do market research. So within business analysis, we say market research, and then we also say benchmarking. So market research is, of course, finding out what your customers want, why they like it, what their pain points are, what keeps them up at night, what would they like to have more of, what would they like to have less of, asking all those questions. And then we also do benchmarking, which is looking at other people who are already in the market. So if you are coming into an industry that you're not the first person to do it, then there's someone else in that industry. So look at what they already offer, analyze their existing products and services, and then maybe use their products, use their service, or interview people who also use those products and services and ask them, what do you like about XYZ products? What don't you like about it? What do you wish was better? And you use all that insight to now enhance your own product, build your product, build out your service. And that helps you to meet your customers where they are. So that's why it is so important for entrepreneurs to do the market research, do benchmarking against other companies in your industry, and continuously do it. When you're getting started, you have to absolutely do it, but you want to do it as maybe every 6 months or every year. You're doing this, you're gathering that data, and it helps you to reduce your risks, helps you to reduce your losses, and it absolutely increases your chances of success within your business.
Wow. Well, that makes total sense. If you don't know where to start, you don't know where you're going, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And it starts with the customers. Talk to the people first. Don't just build something because you feel like people are going to love it. No, talk to the people.
So what happens if you don't have a business plan in place?
So for entrepreneurs, it's really important that we have a business plan, right? And if you don't have it in place, you might actually be building a business that might fail. It might lead up to failure if you don't have a plan. They say if you fail to plan, right? You plan to fail. So you want to have a plan, and that's really just your roadmap for success of your business. It is more like a foundational document where you are stating why you're doing what you're doing, who your customers are, all the research that you have done comes onto that plan, how you intend to make money, what expenses are you going to have, how are you going to hire, how are you going to build your team, who are going to be your first few hires, who are the partners that you're going to have in your business, who are your suppliers, who are your competitors, and why are you better than them? All those things that kind of make your business to show that this business is sustainable. You're looking at year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, at least up to year 5. What are the things that we're going to do to grow every year? You have that plan, and it's your roadmap to success, and you follow that plan, genuinely every day. And when you start to hire staff, you go back to that plan, you're reviewing it, you're showing them how you're going to make money. The truth is, even if you're going to raise funds, you're going to get a loan, they want to see a business plan because they want to know how you're going to make money to pay us back, or how is our investments going to give us any returns. So it's really important, especially from the financial aspect. It helps to guide decision making. And in the long run, if you ever needed any kind of financial support, whether it's a loan, a grant, or venture capital, your business plan is what is going to sell your company to these investors.
It brings up another great question, right?
Yes.
I know you're going to talk about, and that's the lifeblood of any business, right? The cash flow.
Tell me about it. I was speaking with an entrepreneur yesterday who is in our mastermind. We have a thought leadership business school, which is for entrepreneurs and professionals who want to build their thought leadership and their consulting business. And we're working on her business plan actually. And we talked about her services, her packages, how she was going to market them. And then when we got to the cash flow, right, how she was going to make money and how money was going to continue coming into her business, I asked her, how are you going to reach this goal? What are the things you need to do every month, every day to achieve this goal? Because every business needs cash, right? You need cash to come in because it impacts your day-to-day operations. You as a CEO, you're going to get paid a salary or maybe a dividend. You're going to hire people, you're going to pay them. And I actually broke it down for her and made her to see why she might not be profitable based on her current service offerings and how much time she was going to spend providing those services. So that's why it's really important that you review your business plan and then you have a good plan for cash flow. Every successful company has recurring revenue, right? That every month people are paying you for something. So how can you ensure that cash flow is coming in to avoid any financial crisis, that you can sustain the business, you can take care of your monthly expenses, your operational costs, salary, and all of that. So it's really important that as an entrepreneur, you meet with an accountant or a financial planner, walk through this. Thankfully, I have a financial background. So, my clients are able to get, I'm not their advisor, but I can give them some financial, insights into what they're doing in terms of how much they're selling their services. Is it profitable? Because a lot of times I find with new entrepreneurs is they just pick out a price out of thin air without any facts, any data, any research. So we had to go back to the drawing board. And then we realized that she was going to be spending more than she was going to be making. So we had to revise her pricing to meet up to our expenses. So it's really, really important that, you have that conversation. When you're starting as a new business owner, 2 people you need, accountant and lawyer, talk to them.
Let's stay on this subject for a minute, though. I'd be fascinated with your answer on this. So
yeah,
how much in a marketing business, right, where you're selling something like most of the folks that listen to our show, they're selling vitamins or supplements or skincare or hair care or, like I said, insurance, real estate, etc.
Yeah.
How much do you think is a good number for them to put back in their business on a monthly basis towards their marketing, their advertising, their promotion, their social media, all the other things that exist to reach people?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, and I mean, this is different for everyone, right? If you're just starting out, you might not have the funds to put into marketing, and that's where social media comes in. Use your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, your WhatsApp, talk to people. You right, go to events, right? Host presentations, right? If you're doing marketing, that that the cost is less there. But as you start to make more money, I would definitely say 20 to 30% should go back to marketing. 20 to 30% of how much you make. And as you grow, that becomes, also higher. But at least 20 to 30% as a startup entrepreneur of what you're making should go back to your marketing. And that's where you can look at working with influencers, doing some paid advertising on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. That's where you can hire a business development person or a virtual, business development rep or a salesperson to actually start doing a lot of like outreach for you, or an influencer that can sell your vitamins, or you start to pay for promotional posts on websites and blogs and social media. So you want to look at least 20 to 30% should go back into increasing your revenue.
When you watch, I imagine with what you do and everything that you've learned through doing it, teaching
Yeah.
it, coaching over 20,000 people, by the way, congratulations. That's a
Yeah.
humongous number of
Thank you.
humanity that you've affected positively. Um, does it drive you nuts when you see some of the people get on, and be it on Shark Tank or Dragon's Lair? I think you have there in Canada. I think I have the name of the show right. Same show, same concept.
Yeah,
Uh,
Dragon's Den.
does it drive you nuts when you see some of these people, and here you have millionaires and billionaires that are willing to help them in their business, that are actually interested in what they have to say, and then all of a sudden when they say, well, tell me your cost of acquisition, and a person fumbles and says, I don't know. That gets me crazy. I imagine
Yeah.
it must get your blood pressure up.
It does. And it just goes to show that a lot of entrepreneurs need business coaching, they need financial coaching. And a lot of people have great ideas, but you might not be the right person to work out those numbers. Maybe you're not data driven. So because I have a financial background, I am very data driven. Some people are not. They're great with the idea, the vision, but you need someone else to help you with that, because you need to track your numbers. How many people saw your post or your ad? How many people clicked on it? How many people registered for your webinar? How many people were you able to sign on? How much is the cost of acquiring each customer? So knowing those details is really important, because like I shared with you yesterday, when we went through all those numbers, it's going to cost her way more to acquire customers and to spend towards the event she was planning, compared to how much she was willing to sell. She was hoping to sell her services for. So having those numbers are so important. You want to look at your cost per lead. How much does it cost you for each lead that you get? And that is basically, whenever someone gives you their name and their email, that's a lead, right? It can cost you $0 if you're using just social media. But what if you're paying someone to do that for you, to manage your social media? Then there's a cost to that. If you're putting out a Facebook or Instagram advert, they're going to charge you for that. Maybe it's $1, maybe it's $2, right? Maybe when that person also, maybe books a call with your sales team or with you, there's a cost towards how much it costs each person to book a call with you. If you're going to be spending an hour on a call with that person and your hourly rate is $100, that means it's costing you $100 to talk to one customer at a time. So if you're spending $102 to acquire each customer and you're selling them a service that is $70, then you're at a loss. But if you're selling them something that's maybe $500 and it costs you $100 to acquire them, then your return is, $5, right? So these are the things you have to know and track to actually scale your business, because once you know those numbers, then you can just repeat. It now becomes a rinse and repeat system. And that's how companies scale and grow once they get those numbers right.
Love it. Yeah. Great answer. And I was thinking of that. I was thinking I'm a Shark Tank freak. Like
Yeah.
I love sports, but if it's like, if there's a Shark Tank I haven't seen on at the same time as there's a football game, I'm gonna watch Shark Tank. I just love the show. I love the dialogue and all of that. But Ted, what we're talking about here, very serious point, everybody, and then I was making it great. know your numbers.
Yeah.
And know, hey, maybe your
Mm-hmm.
cost of acquisition in the beginning is X, but you keep that customer. And in our type of business, where a repeat customer is almost free business, it helps offset the cost. In the
Mm.
beginning, you may spend more for customer acquisition, but by keeping and maintaining and supporting, by the way, keyword, supporting that customer, you're going to wind up
Mm-hmm.
with a customer that buys again. Well, when they buy again a year, 2 years, 3 years down the line, that's almost free revenue. So understand your
Exactly. And
numbers.
referrals. When you ask for referrals too, you get referrals, and that's zero marketing cost.
Exactly. Exactly. We could talk all day just about how to get referrals properly. I love it. I love it. But let's segue. Let's talk about team building, because in any business, our
Mm.
business is particularly important. Without a team, we're in a business that
Mm-hmm.
is so altruistic. You cannot succeed on your own. You could be the greatest
Mm-mm.
salesperson who's ever walked the planet, but you won't succeed in our business if you don't learn how to not only teach other people, but to help
Right.
coach and mentor other people. And that's probably true in every business out there. I'm not in those other businesses. You are, you get a full spectrum, but love you to talk about how to
Yeah.
build a successful team. And also on the back end of that, how you've built your team with your company, because you've been building your own team for a number of years.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So, like you said, team building is, really what separates the true entrepreneurs from, solopreneur, right? And the truth is, when you're a solopreneur, there's a cap. There's a cap as to how much money you can make, how well you can, how fast you can grow, and the impact that you can make as well. Earlier you talked about the number of people that we've served, thousands and thousands of people that we have served over the last 6 years. But I didn't do it all myself, right? And it came from building a strong team. So the first thing is understanding, as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, as a leader, what are my strengths, right? What are the areas that are my strengths, and who are the people that I need to support my vision? So what are the different skills and strengths I need within my team? Who are the people that can do that? What are the things that, I can teach other people? What are the things that I have no idea how they work out, how it works? I'm going to hire someone who's an expert in there to come in and support that vision. Also, you want to make sure that they align with the vision of the company. They're a good cultural fit too as well, that they understand the culture. If you're in a network marketing company, you have to talk to people. You're going to be prospecting every day. You've got to be good in presentations and sales. And even if they don't have that experience, are they willing to learn? Are they coachable? So those are the things I look out for when I'm hiring. And when you're also doing that and growing your team, you should do that. Something that a lot of CEOs don't do, and I made that mistake earlier, was really sharing the vision with my team, right? Telling them this is what we're going to achieve in the next, 5 years, next year. This is how big our team can be. This is how benchmark against another successful team, another successful company. If they can do it, we can do it too. Here's why we can even do it faster, because we're unique. We have all the skill sets. We have all of these that makes us different. So sharing that vision with your team and making them a part of that vision, celebrating the successes, doing things together, that always helps. So the diversity of my team has really helped a lot, because we have men and women, we have people from different races, people with different skill sets that bring all those skills to the team. And so we're very well-rounded, and we're able to tackle problems as quickly as possible. And also, they start to think like me. They know, okay, Eno would do this. In this situation, what would Eno do? And I have my team members tell me that all the time. I thought about, what would Eno do? What would she say? And that's what I did, and it worked out. Or I was talking with this prospect, and I got this objection. And I thought, what would Eno say here? And I just told her this, and I told her this story and all of that, and she was in. So you want to make sure that you're coaching your team and you're sharing that vision to them in a way that they start to sell that vision, without you even being there. That's how you can grow quickly. That's what makes, entrepreneurs stand out from, people who are just, regular solopreneurs. And as much as possible, try to make sure that within your team, you are finding ways for the team to bond. There's a bit of that work-life balance. Make sure that within your team too as well, you know how they're doing, their birthdays, anniversaries, things like that. Make them feel supported. That really helps. People want to People want to be in an organization where they feel loved and supported and feel like they're part of a true family. Be transparent. I'm very transparent with my team. Hey, this month hasn't been good for us. What can we do next month to make it better? Or our goal was 1,000. We're at 752. How can we get there? Can we challenge each person today to talk to more people, to post on their social media, to do this? And you'd imagine like everyone in the team outside of the sales team are doing all of that. So, building that, really, really helps. And I'm so grateful that even when I had to step away from the business because I had a health challenge, the business was still going on. Like no one knew I was ill until I actually said, oh, guys, I've been away for 3 months. I had the surgery. Like, really? Everything was, operating, so smoothly. So you want to make sure that you're, building that culture within your team and, sharing that vision and, do things together, celebrate your successes and, work on that vision. And, that helps to really, really help with building that great culture within your team.
You know what I love about that, and because you built a team, you had a health issue. You had to step away for a few months to take care of your health, which is,
Yeah.
our health is not much worth in life. And it
Yeah.
reminds me of something I read in one of Dr. Jim Collins' books. I think it was either Built to Last or I think it was Built to Last. But he talked about the fact that there's a difference between building a timepiece, which would be like Big Ben over in England, versus building a watch. And that's what you've done. So congratulations for that, because to build a business
Thank
and to
you.
not have it go the wrong direction when the boss isn't around shows that you built not only great systems, but great people with great processes that, continued
Right.
on when, okay, she's going to be back. We're not scared of her. What we want to do is we want to please her so she can concentrate on something, frankly, sometimes more important in business
Yeah.
is our health, certainly. So
Yeah.
terrific. Now, why all businesses must adapt to changes in the market? And there's so many changes going on right now with
So many.
wars and economies and presidential election coming up here in the US and all the other stuff that we both know are going on, as do our listeners. How do you do this in today's marketplace to make sure that you continue on, that you have continuance and do what you can do under all those given circumstances?
The most successful companies, John, are companies that are adaptable, that are flexible, that are reacting, right? They're proactive, right? They're not reactive, right? They're proactive. They're looking at, like you said, the election. They're looking at, okay, the wars that are happening, inflation, there's projected recession. As we know, there's the emergence of artificial intelligence that we're seeing that's causing all these layoffs. Companies are now focused more on reducing their costs, increasing their profits, right? Profitability has now become a major issue for stakeholders, and you're saying reduce your costs, move into automation and AI. So any company that's going to last, tens of years and hundreds of years is an adaptable company that is flexible. We're not saying this is how we did it in 1985. We're going to still do the same thing in 2024, right? So understand that customers' preferences change. People would always change. The things I liked, 10 years ago, not what I like right now. The kind of house I even like, the kind of car I like, the kind of food I eat. As I grew older, I started eating more healthier, but I started taking my supplements and my vitamins and, all those things. We change as we have kids, things change, our travel change, so many things as we grow every day where our preferences are changing. So you want to make sure that you're, aligning to your customers' preferences as they evolve. And that's where that research comes in. Looking at what is happening in the market, asking them questions, and making sure that you're aligned with what your customers are, their preferences are and what they like, what they want. Technology. We can't deny the fact that every business is supported by technology right now. I mean, thanks to technology, we're having this amazing conversation. So there's a lot of rapid technological changes, and we're going to be seeing that in the next 10 years or so. And it's going to disrupt a lot of industries. So knowing if your industry is going to be disrupted, everyone is going to be disrupted by AI. How can I get ahead of AI? How can I, how can I include AI, into my current solutions? How can I ensure that, maybe whatever I'm providing to my clients, if I can make sure that it's up to standard, right? Or can I partner with a bigger company that has those solutions? So thinking about how you can adapt to all these rapid technological changes is really important. We're seeing AI, creating graphics, making videos, doing things that were basic skills that people used to pay people to do, writing copy, writing email, creating websites, coding, solving coding problems and engineering problems. And you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen to these roles? So staying ahead of the technological changes is really important for you to grow and sustain your business. And then just doing a lot every time you're looking at your competitors. What are other people doing in my industry? How can I improve my value propositions to my clients? How can I tweak my strategy? Even if you had a strategy that you had for the year, mid-year, that strategy you should be open to change at any point in time if anything happens. So staying aware and being very adaptable and making those rapid changes really helps you as as a business owner to adapt to market changes. Also, something to note is the global space, right? Economic conditions like the wars, we didn't see it coming, like the pandemic, we didn't see all those things coming. But the companies that were able to still maintain their businesses and not shut down were the ones who were able to quickly adapt, leverage technology, understanding the shifts within the demographic, the preferences of their customers, the emerging trends in technology, and also maybe providing services that are probably niched into where your customers are right now. So these are all the things that you can do that are helpful. And at every point in time, I always host workshops for business owners where I share with them strategies that they can employ. And I talk about the triple triangle, the triangle of business: people, the process, the technology, right? So I teach that all the time because one, you need to have the right people. We talked about that. Two is process. What are the processes you have in place and how can these processes be automated? How can you improve them? And three, technology. Right now, as a business owner, you cannot have a business and not have the right technology. How can you actually adapt AI into your business? So I have this, workshop that I do for business owners that I help them to see those three areas where they can improve and how they can make it better. So if anyone is interested in that, you can always check out the website, Any Consulting Incorporated, Any Consulting, ENY consulting.com, where I kind of have all these sessions I do with business owners, because it's really important to stay ahead. Like this, at this time, we cannot be, we cannot, stick to the old things. No, we have to stay ahead of all these changes.
It's such a great point what you're saying, because I remember, and I'm a whole lot older than you are. I'm probably old enough to be your dad, or
Yeah.
maybe even granddad. But anyway, we'll just stick to dad.
Oh, no.
I remember it was about 1991. I was living in New York State at the time, and I remember I got a fax machine, and I let some of the people I was working with know I had a fax machine, and I had it I lived in a very small place at that time, and I had it in my kitchen. So I would like be eating dinner, and all of a sudden it was like it would go off. And I remember thinking to myself, how in the world have I survived without a fax machine? And since then we've had, the cell phone going from, a thing that was like a walkie-talkie
Email.
to, like this size, and now you can run the space shuttle off of this. And now AI. So let's stay on the AI subject for a minute, because you referenced it several times. And
Yes.
when we look at our kids, we grew up, well, we didn't, you grew up with a cell phone. I didn't. Okay. But my kids have, to some degree. My youngest is 19. Their kids are going to grow up where AI is going to be what they talk about, what they use to start businesses, to run their finances, to run their lives. But how do we as entrepreneurs right now, whether you're an old guy like me, a young person like yourself, or a really young person like my 19-year-old, how do they look at AI and not be scared of it, but apply it and learn what to do with it for their business and for their life? Because it's, let's face it, technology is part of our life. It's not just our business now.
Yeah, it is part of our life. That's a great question, John. what we've seen is, technology keeps adapting. Like he said, the next generation, everything's going to be AI. The things that we're fascinated about right now, like the cell phone and the laptops and all those things, digital cameras that we are now using compared to what we used, 10, 20 years ago, is going to be all driven by artificial intelligence. So what we need to do as entrepreneurs is, one, get the knowledge, right? Learn more about it. Don't shy away from it. Take a course on AI, attend events or seminars where this is being discussed by thought leaders and speakers. Get that knowledge that you need. Two, I would say, is hiring an AI consultant. So there are AI consultants right now that you can hire. They can come in and look at your business and advise on areas that you can implement AI right now into your current business. So that's another way that you can get ahead of AI, is by getting the knowledge and also hiring someone who can come into your business, look through it. And that's something we're doing for our clients right now, because we're seeing a lot of increase in clients asking this AI thing, how can we get ahead of it? So now we're getting requests from clients who want us to come and do like a training for their staff on how they can leverage AI in their business, or even just come and do an audit of all their systems and processes and make recommendations on how they can leverage AI and possibly help them with an implementation. So those are ways that as business owners, we can implement it. And even if you're not a business owner and you're listening to this, then you want to make sure you're at least doing some research, you're reading about it and learning how you too can even just implement AI into your daily life. I mean, AI can create health plans, workout plans, vacation calendars. Like, it can help you plan out your vacation. I'm going to Rome. What are the things I can do there? Like all of those fun things, create a dinner menu for me. I have this ingredients in my fridge right now. Like, it's so cool how you can even use it in your personal life. So embrace it. It's here, right?
and you even have your AI assistant on with the call today.
Right. Yeah. So it's taking notes and it's going to create a summary of, our conversation, which is actually very spot on. I love the AI assistants because they're doing the work a regular secretary would do back in the, 90s.
It was so cool when we were waiting to start the call. Everybody, the AI assistant was telling me that you were coming, and
Wow.
so it was like, hey, great, anyway, it works, and it's exciting, folks. Don't be afraid of this, I guess, is the real point. Embrace it, learn about it, which is great advice. So let me throw one other question at you. I know you've got a busy day. So let me just throw one other quick question at you, because you referenced it earlier about more like people's birthdays or anniversaries or significant things in their life. They have a baby, for example, and you're doing business with them. And this is something I can do a whole lot better than I don't, frankly, in my business. But I think back, one of my many interviews over the last 4 years was with a guy who now works for the Augmentino Foundation, but he used to work for GE, and he actually was Jack Welch's assistant, one of Jack Welch's assistants.
Ooh.
And he told me an interesting story, and I'd love your thoughts on this. Now, here's the CEO, like you look in the Guinness Book of World Records, the all-time CEO, Jack Welch, right? Nobody did it better. And Mr. Welch, when he was running GE, was in a board meeting. And I'm repeating this story, but for our listeners and for your reference point. And he was in a board meeting. So here he is, a board meeting. I can't imagine who's on the board of GE, but some pretty serious, wealthy, sophisticated investment types, right? He's in the meeting and he says, gentlemen and ladies, I need to stop for about 5 minutes because I need to make a phone call. He picked up the phone on the desk and he called one of the managers in GE who had negotiated a price decrease in a raw material. Couldn't tell you what division or who it was. I don't remember, but he said, I need to call to congratulate this guy. And the guy knew the call was coming. And he had all of his assistants, employees, secretary, all the various people in that department there for the call with, Jack Welch. And Jack Welch called just to congratulate this guy. And they hooted and they hollered and, they loved it. And, they saved the company money and blah, blah, blah. So if a guy like Jack Welch, I can only imagine Jack Welch's schedule, right? Talking to everything from presidents to prime ministers to CEOs, to God knows who. If he could do that, how does a person like me with obviously a much smaller business, or most of our listeners with much smaller businesses in General Electric, to run every day?
Mm.
How do we get better at that?
Honestly, it's not something that like, even for me, as a business owner, I wouldn't say that I'm 100% perfect in doing that. I'm being so, like, knowing my employees, or being there, or congratulating them and things like that. But what I decided to do was just having a process. So like right now, for like birthdays, anniversaries, things like that, we have, for my company, we have like an HR system that we have all the employees' dates for all the milestones and major life moments, and we have it in there. And it's the duty of our HR right now. Our HR make sure that she's looking at that calendar, and that we're preparing for that. So that's a way that I've been able to hand that and delegate that to someone who is involved in that. And then, of course, we make sure we celebrate that person, send something over to them and all of that. And then for, our, senior members of our team who I know, personally, I'm able to, do all those things. And then I have an assistant who I'm ensuring that she knows the process. It's their birthday, it's Father's Day, it's Mother's Day, Christmas, things like that, that we have a process of sending out those gifts, maybe giving them a call, sending out them a card, those things. And they really, really do help. And I know that we're so busy that we tend to forget these things, but we can train people around us too, to ensure that, we don't miss it out. We can have a process around it, which is something that, I have, and that has really helped me, so that we can stay on track with supporting our staff, and showing them, and customers too, and showing them that love. But that story about Jack Welch is really, it shows he's truly an exemplary leader for him to do that. And it goes a long way to show how much, when you really care about your people, you would make sure that no matter what, you're getting it done. And I'm actually encouraged and inspired by what he did. I mean, maybe I should even pick up the phone more and just give my staff calls once in a while.
Me too.
Me too.
So let me
Ah,
ask you a last question here, and
yeah.
so advice to our listeners: what three things should they
Mm.
stop doing, and what three things should they start doing today to advance the momentum in their business in 2024 and beyond?
Wow, good question. Okay, so I'll start with what you should start doing. Start one, doing market research, talking to your customers every day. Make sure that you have someone, if you already have like an assistant, a support specialist, outreach specialist, you have someone who is in a customer facing role. Make sure that person is taking notes on the type of questions, inquiries that are coming in, complaints, all of that. That's research. That person has a feedback form, a feedback survey. You're doing that no matter what, even if it's just a phone call, even if it's a sales call, even if it's an event, make sure you have some sort of feedback form or survey. Really good to get that. So doing that research, getting feedback, start doing that if you haven't, if you don't do that consistently. Two, start tracking your numbers. You have to be data driven. And if you're not, hire somebody who is, because when you have the numbers right, that's how you scale. If you can do something over and over and you have the same results, then you can do it 10 times and get more results. So track your numbers. And the third thing is, even if you are a small business or you're a solopreneur right now, I recommend that you create an organogram for your organization and for your team. And even if you're not going to fill all those roles right now, that helps you to see who are the key people you need to hire, and then you can plan towards that and having goals as to when you're going to fill those positions. Because at a certain point in time, you can't do everything, even though you feel you're great at everything right now. Create an organogram for your company, for your team, and make sure that you build it out in in a way that it matches the vision that you have. If you want to have VPs and directors and managers and team leads, you can have that. So build that out and have that where you can see it somewhere. So you know what you're driving towards is that you're building, a global organization at a certain point in time. So start doing all those things. And then of course, start to build your team higher with the right people. So one is the customer research. Make sure you start doing that. Two, tracking your numbers, the data. And three, the team building, creating that vision for your team. Now, to stop doing, one, stop comparing your business of 5 years old to a 50-year-old business, right? They've come a long way. They have, an email list of hundreds of millions of customers. They have built a brand for so many years. Don't compare yourself to a global multinational company that, has budgets of millions and billions of dollars for advertising and marketing. Don't ever do that. So stop the comparison, right? That's really important. Two, stop saying that, people are not buying, right? Stop saying that. Stop believing that people are not going to buy what you have to offer. Stop believing that there is no money out there. There is. Stop believing that people are not spending, even with everything that's happening. So stop doing that. People are still spending. You have to make sure that you're adaptable. You're changing your marketing message. When things like this happen, your marketing message has to change, right? You need to educate people more. You need to show empathy. You need to provide several ways people can purchase from you. Give people several options on how they can work with you, how they can purchase with you. Give people that flexibility in payments and things like that. So stop saying that people are not buying from you. Don't have a negative mindset at all. And the third thing is stop saying you don't need help. Everyone needs help. You need coaches, you need mentors, you need people to guide you, right? So stop saying that, there's no one to help you or you don't need anybody's help. You absolutely do. Find mentors and coaches, people who have done it before you. Seek ways you can get mentorship from them. I pay for coaching, I pay for mentorship, and it has helped me significantly because I'm learning from people who have, 40, 50 years of experience, and they've made all the mistakes. And I'm basically just learning from their successes, and they're giving me the blueprint. So it's a way easier and I can grow faster. So find people who have gone ahead of you, whether in network marketing, whether in, e-commerce, whether in coaching, whether in consulting, whether in, direct to customer service markets, whatever you do, find someone who has that kind of success, seek ways that they can mentor you, they can coach you, and then attend events. I love conferences. I love events. There's something that it does. It kind of like lights a fire up in you. And then you also network with other people. And then you see people's successes. You see people on those stages and you aspire to be there too. So don't, so stop saying you don't need help. Stop saying there is no help available. Find those opportunities, find ways to get the help and support you need. And trust me, if you can do all of these, to start those things and stop those things, then success is imminent for you.
Wow. Great advice. Well, this has been a pleasure. And hey, I don't want to forget, because you did say it earlier, but let people know how they can get a hold of you. I think you've got a course that they can take, and there's multiple courses that they can sign up for. Folks, Ben Franklin said many years ago, right? Take the coins in your purse and invest them in your mind, and your mind will refill your purse many times. And, Mr. Franklin was right. So
that's good.
How did they get a hold of you and utilize some of your vast amount of services?
Absolutely. So, it's been great having a conversation with you, John. And for anyone who's listening, my name is Eno Eka. Once again, I am the founder of Eno Consulting. We are a boutique consulting company. We help professionals and business owners to grow their income. So if you're a professional and you want to start a consulting company and grow it, reach out to us. We're here to help you. If you're already an existing business owner and you want to grow and scale, you need hire the right people. You need to improve your processes. You need to leverage technology, and you need the coaching and the guidance. Then reach out to us. Our website is enyconsulting.ca. That's our website. Also, if you are a corporate professional or a business owner and you want to become a thought leader within your industry, an authority, a speaker, you want to grow your own coaching and consulting company, we have our Thought Leadership Business School where we focus on building thought leadership with our business with thought leadership. So head to thoughtleadershipbusinessschool.com and fill out the form there. We'll be happy to have a conversation with you. And if you're listening to this podcast right now and you are a career professional, you want to move into a higher paying salary, and you want to transition careers, you want to move into tech, you don't know how to do it, the Business Analysis School is available for you. We have courses, we have coaching programs, we have master classes, we have live events that you can attend. So visit businessanalysisschool.com. I have books as well that you can buy and read. I have multiple resources available for you. Reach out to us. We're always happy to help you and assist you. And on social media, if you search Eno Eka, Enoeka, on LinkedIn, you'll find me on Instagram, Facebook too as well. You would find me over there. And I'm happy to provide you with any insights or tips that you need to help you grow in your career and business.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being a guest. It's been a pleasure. I learned a lot, and I'm sure our listeners have too. So thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Leave Nothing to Chance. If you want to know more about what it takes to succeed in the network marketing space, join us again next week for another amazing episode. For additional resources and to connect with John Solleder, visit leavingnothingtochance.com. Don't forget to leave a review, and we'll see you next time.